So, Minecraft Live 2023 has come and gone, and people have begun talking. I, for one, thought things looked pretty good, actually. The focus today will mostly be on 1.21 because, frankly, I don't really care about anything else. Mojang began by discussing their new focus for this update, as previously they were mostly thinking about updates from a creativity or exploration lens, whereas now they seem to be shifting to a new combat and tinkering approach. This, to me, seems like a major victory. The game's challenge has been lacking for years now, and frankly, I am just glad that we are seeing improvements in this section of the game. Speaking of which, Mojang's first major new feature announced, the Trial Chambers, really delivered in this category. Really large new structures with procedurally generated rooms and traps, as well as a ton of new copper and tuff related blocks, showcase the new theme very, very well. I personally love the new copper bulbs, which we'll talk about more later on. In terms of new combat content, there are a couple new things that come to mind. The new trial spawners, for instance, don't just drop loot directly, but also spawn more mobs based on the amount of people nearby. As well as this, we also got the new breeze enemy, which has some of the most interesting attacks of any Minecraft mob, and also has direct impact on the environment in a really cool way, affecting trapdoors and potentially activating traps. Personally, I can't wait for both of these new features to be utilized in adventure maps where I really think they'll become a prominent part of the game. As well as this, I'm also wondering if Mojang has any more mobs planned, possibly new Minecraft, hostile mobs of those natures. But regardless, this is a really good introduction to the Trial Chambers, and I'm genuinely really impressed with this. On top of this, the Redstone community had a few major W's in the form of the new crafter and the copper bulbs. Automated crafting changes Minecraft in a way that I think few have recognized thus far. The game is effectively a few steps away from becoming a Factorio Light. As well as this, the copper bulbs, while being aesthetically pleasing, are apparently also T flip-flops, which I personally know very little about, but people are pretty much completely excited for. This is a new era of Redstone for the game. I myself am pretty interested in learning the ins and outs of the system, and I'm really excited to see what YouTubers, creators, and things of those nature, what they come up with. I really think the crafter is going to change Minecraft forever, probably the biggest individual feature we've gotten in years, and something like this has been necessary for a very long time to move the game more into that tinkering style. Once again, going back to what they wanted to do with this update, makes me more excited for what they're going to do with the rest of the update, which we're going to see over the coming months in the snapshots and things of that nature. Finally, we have the part that the most people were angry about, the mob vote. And personally, I don't really have too much stake in the mob vote argument. I voted for the crab, but I think that some of the responses to it were a little much, to say the least. However, it happened, and the Armadillo won. I personally preferred the crab due to the potential for the increased placement and block breaking distances, but I think this was an alright second choice. I do hope they discontinue the mob vote at this point though. Despite the vote hitting 5 million total votes this time around, I think that it doesn't really have much of a use anymore, especially due to the fact that the community just fights about it and gets so frustrated about it during every single year. I think that it doesn't really have much of a point anymore, and as well as this, people don't want to see the mobs that they potentially really like disappear, likely forever. I really do wish that they brought back some of those old mobs. I think that the Copper Golem, for example, or the Tuff Golem could fit really good in this update, but once again, that's hindsight. These mobs are unlikely to get into the game. I just kind of wish we got all three. I'm not really one of those people who's spamming hashtag stop the mob vote or whatever, but getting all three would have been really cool. It's just sad that we don't. Overall, this new direction is just that, it's new. We haven't seen the entire update. Mojang has planned a lot more to show off over the next few weeks in snapshots and blog posts and things of that nature, and I for one am excited to see where this leads. For example, the armor trim system wasn't originally part of 1.20, it was added in later. If we get things of that scale in this update, it's going to be looking really, really good. And I think the change in direction to more of a tinkering style, a combat style, has been very much needed for a very long time, and I myself am very happy with the results. I think that the combat update that has been teased for many years now, or at least been shown off a few times, I think something like that could also make its way into 1.21, and if it does, better combat would be awesome for the game. would really improve the feeling of PvP in the game, and would likely cause those servers, which have been on 1.8 for a literal decade now, to finally move on, which I think would be good for innovation in the game as a whole. I also want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that Mojang did a good job with this? Do you think it was cringy and stupid? Do you like the mob vote? Do you hate the mob vote? Do you think the new stuff is really awesome? Do you think they should have shown more off? I just want to hear your comments and your thoughts down below, because I would really like to get that, discussion going. At the end of the day, though, my name is Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future, fellas, because I will see you then.